losing calories, just living free. Robert Ferguson's got the plan you need. With diet-free life, it's the key. No more starving, getting rid of inflammation. Choosing healthy choices, providing you with sound information. Bringing balance to hormones and insulin through food. With DFL, teaching you food choices to see it through. DFL, we're teaching you to eat food right. Teaching you to pair food with each bite. Balancing our body's microbiome, feeling so right. With diet-free life, the health futures lose by.
Welcome, everybody. This is Diet Free Life with Robert Ferguson. And I want to say thank you for being here. And I want to encourage you to like, subscribe, comment, let me know where you're coming from, because we share information here because we actually care. And when I say care, we're talking about helping people lose weight, helping people improve metabolic health, helping people eventually either reduce the need or eliminate medications. And if that's something that gets your attention and you want to look and feel your best and live your best and longest life, I've been at this for 30 years, and that really doesn't mean anything unless you understand there's been 30 years of a whole bunch of cool things that I have learned, and there's wisdom with that. And I would say it's priceless information as it pertains to the things that I am sharing with you today. Now, not everybody gets that, right? Because everybody just goes with what is convenient for them. Not everyone is looking for the truth when it comes to their health and well-being. And that's not a dig on anybody, but they're just not. Because if they were, eventually everybody would find the truth. And what I have learned is that people will find the truth and then they will run from the truth. And there's no better demonstration of my point that I'm making today than to talk about supplements. So I'm going to answer 5 very important questions about supplements. And if you stay with me, and I promise you, it won't go over 30 minutes. It could be 20 minutes. You're going to learn things about supplements that you didn't know. And I'm going to save you time, energy, and money, because this happens all the time with my clients, right? So as a nutritionist, I get a client, we take an inventory. What supplements are you taking? They send me a picture of their supplements. They show me the ingredients of their supplements. Then I will go back to them and say, well, if I were you, I wouldn't use this supplement, and this is why. I would at that point give them a complete list. I would substantiate why I'm saying not this supplement, because some of them have ingredients that are linked to things that are not good for you. And then I give them the data that backs that up. And they go, ooh, I didn't know that. And then they don't have to take that supplement. Some of you will find out the truth and still will keep taking your supplement because, I don't know, that's the economist thinking, cognitive dissonance. I don't have the complete answer because every person is unique and different. And I don't get why, when the truth is right in front of you, why people run from it. You know what I mean? Like, I help people lose weight. I coach them. They lose the weight. Then they fire me or let me go as their coach. They gain all the weight back. And I always go, wow, if something was working, why would you stop it? Now, if they can't afford it financially, that's one thing. But if they could afford it, why would they let something go that's working for them? All right. Anyway, that's another time that we'll have a time together. Okay, but here's the deal. You ready? Because this is going to be fun. Now, for those of you who want to learn more about me, there's links provided below. We also have 3 really cool courses that you could be a part of and learn about the gut microbiome. You could learn about the importance of omega-6 to 3 balance, which is all about inflammation and insulin resistance. And then we have a food as medicine course, because you got to start somewhere, right? Knowledge is power. Like, I didn't know all of these things I'm about to share with you until I learned about these things I'm about to share with you. And then with experience over the years, I got to see what was real and what wasn't real. But today we're talking about supplements. This is going to be, actually, this could be one of the most fun conversations that I've ever done. Like talking about supplements. Like this could be a really fun time. So let me be the one. All right, so I'm be the one. All right, I know you're ready to get into it, so we're going to get into it. Now, I did bring a couple slides to keep me focused and to continue with clarity on what we're doing. So I titled this talk, The Truth About Supplements. Now, there's a whole bunch of truths and not truths about supplements. We're going to go over some basics. And this was inspired by one of my clients this morning. She called me and had some questions about supplementation. She had heard me do a presentation, and she was like, I have these questions. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do something on this today. And I'm going to do it. I'm not going to over teach it. I'm just going to come from the heart for you guys, okay? And answer 5 questions. Now, for those of you who are catching me live, if you have a question, then post it. So big shout out to Sandy. Let me see. Who is that over there? Is that Mooney Watt? Mooney Watt, I believe. I don't want to guess who that is, but that's on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, Facebook, post your questions. I'll give you a shout out and we will rock and roll. Okay, so I'm going to test some of this new technology. Now, let's see if we can have some of the questions that will pop up on the screen. Okay. All right. So after the colon, you can see it says how long, how much, and what really works. Okay. So here we go. Before we go into that, I want to just talk about cellular health, because at the end of the day, if you want to be in good health, meaning you want to live as long as possible, you want quality health, and you want to avoid things if possible, like various conditions. If you have a condition that you want to improve, I'm also speaking to how to reverse those conditions. If there's still time to reverse them. Now, what you see on the screen to the far left is where you see cell damage. Now, 99% of every adult that's watching this video will most likely have what they call a rigid cell membrane. We know this because millions of people have been tested. And if someone's like, well, I know my cells are good, how do you know if it hasn't been tested? So there's something called cell membrane fluidity. So a cell membrane needs to be fluid, needs to be permeable, translucent, so that oxygen and nutrients can easily get into the cell to create amazing, magical, healthy benefits. And then you need the membrane to be healthy, fluid, so that when the cells are detoxing, all those toxins and waste can easily leave the cells. So if you look at my fist, and this was your cell, and we have trillions of cells. If I wrap my hand on top, that's the membrane. That membrane needs to be able to help get things into the cell and help things not go into the cell. So we're talking about cellular health. Now, when you don't have cellular health, as you can see in the middle, you have inflammation. Now, you hear a lot of people talk about inflammation, but rarely do they explain what inflammation is. And I want to address inflammation because that is the silent thing that is messing up everybody. Okay? Everybody. Right? So if you have arthritis, before you had arthritis, you had low-grade chronic inflammation. Before you had insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes, you had low-grade chronic inflammation. Before you had Hashimoto's, Graves' disease, gout, lupus, you had and was experiencing low-grade chronic inflammation. Your doctor didn't test for it, but I'm going to show you how you can do that. See, I feel like this is almost a medical injustice that everybody doesn't know what I'm about to share with you. Now, we're talking about supplements, but everybody should know this. Okay. Now, when you have low-grade inflammation, what happens is eventually, that low-grade inflammation gets expressed as rheumatoid arthritis, as heart disease, as type 2 diabetes. Okay, zoom in on this right here. Zoom in on this. Look at all of those things that I have listed. There's 26 categories. You got everything from cancer to type 2 diabetes, to asthma, to chronic fatigue syndrome, migraines, headaches, neuropathy. Yeah. And I know it's surprising sometimes to people because they're hearing about this for the first time. And I think that's sad. But I also see it as a happy moment because now you can do something about it. Okay, so if you know anyone that's dealing with any of these things you see on the screen, encourage them to watch this video. Tag them. If you're on Facebook, tag them. Say, hey, watch it. Get back to me. Because they would benefit from knowing this, especially if you know anyone that's taking supplements. Because there's a lot of people taking supplements and they're taking them and they don't even know why they're taking them. They really don't have an idea. Well, that's not true. They have an idea. They just don't know what I know and what I'm going to share with you today. Okay? So, and even the people that you would think would know, they don't, I'm telling you, they don't know this. Okay. So let's just get into it. Let's treat it where this is a one-on-one with you. Now, I am going to talk about a product that I endorse and believe in. It's called Balance Oil. Now, Balance Oil is something that's unique. It's a patented formula that helps people get into balance. Now, part of what's inside of this product is omega-3 fatty acid. Now, Dr. Andrew Wild, who I met in 2002 the first time, I got to spend 3 days with him. And every day, all day, he talked about the importance of omega-3s. And if you can see on the screen, he says, quote, you can't be in optimal health. So think about all the people who want to be in optimal health. I would assume we all want to be in optimal health. So here you have one of the leading, most respected physicians around the world. He says right there, you can't be in optimal health if you don't have an adequate intake of omega-3s. Most of us are not getting enough. We know now that about 99% of people aren't getting enough. So everybody you know that looks fit, they work out all the time, they look the part, they're not getting enough. I know. I work with pro athletes, world champions, put people on Olympic teams. I've done it all. I've done all of that. They're not getting enough. And most of them don't even know it. Okay. So if you don't believe me in moving forward, that means you don't believe Dr. Andrew Watt. All right. So let's keep it moving. So let's tackle the first question. How long should someone take a supplement? How long should someone take a supplement? How long? A year? 4 months? 10 years? A lifetime? Okay. People will buy supplements and not have any understanding of how they would answer this question. Life, a big part of it is based on pros and cons, benefits to risks. Now, according to the CDC, I'm going to give you an example. Over 80% of Black people in the United States of America are not getting enough vitamin D. Over 70% of Hispanics are not getting enough vitamin D. 50% of everybody else are not getting enough vitamin D. Well, if you're not getting enough vitamin D through the food and your exposure to the sun, depending on where you live, you would want to supplement with vitamin D. There's two things to know at this point. Are you getting enough? Well, you can find out by getting a test. Now, doctors were promoting the test. Nowhere near at this level are they promoting it. And it's a major reason why some people are walking around feeling tired, fatigued. They're just not themselves. Then they start blaming them not being themselves on their hormones and all kind of things. But the corrective action would be increase your vitamin D. Now, I have a test that I could give to anybody anywhere in the United States, anywhere in the world, actually, about 60 countries. A legit, scientifically validated, verified test. And it's really simple and it's very inexpensive. So you could find out if you're not getting enough vitamin D instead of just guessing. Or you could just assume you're not getting enough and start supplementing with vitamin D, which is fine. Now, how long should someone take a supplement? Well, vitamin D, you're probably going to take it for the rest of your life. Because as soon as you stop taking it, you will have insufficient levels again. Now, I could say the same thing with omega-3 fatty acids, which is the balanced oil that I promote that comes with polyphenols. Once you start taking it, because there's a test that will tell you if you're not getting enough, which is most people, and that does help when you improve your omega-3 index, meaning you get enough omega-3, you get into balance. Tons of literature is very clear that it helps reduce that chronic inflammation. So anyone concerned with inflammation would be, one, they would get tests to confirm it, and we can make that available to anybody, very simple. And two, they would take it and then test again and then see that they're no longer insufficient. So when you take a supplement that is going to supplement, meaning is replacing what you're not naturally getting, that means you're going to be taking it for life. Because as soon as you stop taking it, you will then go back to being insufficient. Now, a multivitamin, I don't take a multivitamin because I eat regular food and a variety of it. Vitamin C, I think vitamin C, good insurance, right? Vitamin C is always a good thing. Unless you're eating citrus fruits, you're eating some vegetables, some bell peppers, and you know you're getting a good amount of vitamin C. If you're eating fruits and vegetables, like I coach my clients, you don't need a vitamin C supplement. Then you start looking at all these other ones, glutathione and melatonin. Most of those, you're wasting your money and time. Okay. So how long should someone take a supplement? It does help to know why you're taking it. What purpose is it providing? And can you, with some confirmation, figure out if it's something that you really need? And through test-based nutrition, you can get that answer. So I think I just answered it. Okay. I think I just answered. And if anybody has another question with that, just post it, because we all would benefit from knowing. I'm telling you, I watch a lot of influencers. I watch a lot of people posting things, and they are taking stuff and they are just wasting their money. And some of them are taking things that is causing more harm. If you're living off supplements over food, then there's a problem with that. But again, some people don't want to know the truth. So let's move on to question number 2. I got 14 minutes to get this done. Is the duration the same for all supplements? The answer would be no. Like I take balance oil, which is a combination of omega-3 and polyphenols. I take it because I know better. is my expertise. I know that everyone would benefit from taking it. Now, not everybody's informed. They just don't know they have insufficiencies when it comes to omega-3s. They don't know yet. But for those of us who know and who do want to optimize health, then I'm not going to stop taking that one. Vitamin D for me, because I'm either mostly in California or Florida, the sun is out. I go to the pool at least 3 to 4 times a week. I get plenty of sun. I'm good. And I also have tested my vitamin D levels many times. So I'm going to keep, so I don't need vitamin D every day. I don't even supplement with it. I get a little bit in my balanced oil, but I don't need it. My body's producing it. But a large majority of everybody else would benefit from taking vitamin D. And if that's you, then that's not something that you stop. Now, if you're taking a multivitamin, if you're buying a supplement like a protein powder, if you're taking magnesium and you're trying it to see if it helps, if you're trying things to see if you think it helps, you probably won't take it forever. But I keep meeting a lot of people that are taking supplements like glutathione, NAD, and they've been bamboozled and fooled. And even when I share with these people the science of what I'm sharing with you, that the NAD must be produced inside of the cell, not something that you take by IV or through a supplement, that glutathione that is known as the master antioxidant and all of the benefits that go with that, the data is clear that a supplement in a capsule or doing IV is a waste of your money. But people get caught up in the hype and they just go by what people are telling them and they don't know. But hey, if they got the money to burn, just keep on burning that money. So it just depends. I think vitamin D, vitamin C, I saw through COVID, zinc. Those are some pretty decent supplements that I would say if you could make them part of what you're doing, you're good. Balanced oil, because I meet a lot of professionals that don't even know the importance of omega-6 to omega-3 ratio, but yet they're out there encouraging other people. So we have that. All right, so I'm going to move on. I think I answered it. If I didn't, bring it back. Third question. And if you could only take one supplement, what would that be? Ooh, that's a question for me. Well, I know that answer. I will never not take balanced oil. It is a product that I will take for the rest of my life. Now, if other products come out that have a similar formulation, okay, which there are none, because this is a patented formulation, and I want to try something different, which doesn't make any sense, unless it was like $10 and I paid $45. Okay, let me try it, and then there's a test. So when I do the test, like we've done with 22 different omega-3s, people who take those other 22, when we do the test, they fail. They don't pass, which means those products don't work. So I'm going to stick with what works because that makes sense to me. Like my skin in the game is looking for what works. Okay. So I'm sticking with what works. That's very important. So that would be the one product for me. And if I were to move back to Indiana or Ohio or something like that, and I have more gray days and I don't get the sun that I'm used to getting, I would probably supplement with the vitamin D. That's what I would do. All right. 2 more questions, then we're done. If you start feeling better, do you need to keep taking it? Okay. It just depends. Okay. So if it's balanced oil, and you have a test and you can measure if it's working or not. And once the test is in the green, meaning you're doing great, you don't stop doing that. Because once you stop And if you ever test again, you're going to fail. No one in their right mind, and I don't say that to be insulting, would stop something that is working. But I've watched people stop because they forget why they took it. So if you don't have the knowledge and insight, right, and to hang on to it so you can hang on to the value of what is in that product, that supplement, and you have a test that verifies that it works. I mean, it's kind of like going to someone and let's say they have, I don't know, prostate cancer, or they have some type of cancer. And the doctor says, hey, take this and that cancer is going to shrink. And as long as you take this, that cancer cell is never going to like grow. I'm going to tell you right now, I would never stop taking that medication. Plus, I get to see the test. I watch it shrink, and then I keep taking it, and it doesn't grow. Because if I stop taking that med that has now proven to do what the doctor told me it would do, and if it's working by the labs and the tests, I would be extremely not intelligent. Well, that's not the right word. I don't even know what the word is for that, because I was told don't use the word stupid. So I'm working hard not to say stupid. Okay, I'm working hard not to. But if I'm taking something that shrinks my tumor, and the doctor says if I keep taking this med or supplement, whatever, that tumor is not going to grow, and I've built confidence, I don't want cancer. So I would just keep, that would just be part of my lifestyle. Like people are with blood pressure, right? So when you have high blood pressure and you're trying to get it under control and you don't want to go to ER and they give you 3 different meds and now your blood pressure is balanced, trust me, you're not going to miss taking your blood pressure medication. No way. Because you don't want those numbers to go up. You don't want to go to ER. You don't want to feel horrible. Right? So that's the answer to this question. If you start feeling better, do you keep taking it? If it's helping you feel better, you keep taking it. Unless you find out that it's harming you. I know that with Balance Oil, it's helping me. I have tested that verify and is validated. The data is clear. So I'm going to keep doing what works. Okay, last question. I hope I'm making sense, because my goal today really is to help people when it comes to supplements. Many of you are taking too many supplements. Lord, help you. Please bless these people, because you don't know. I know you're trying to be healthy. You're going for it, and someone told you to take this and take that, and turmeric this and turmeric that, and you're just going with what they're telling you. Something about them, you believe them. There's no test to validate it. There's no, I mean, you just believe them. You want to believe them because you want to be healthy. You don't want to go backwards. Okay. Finally, is taking more than 10 supplements a day I have met nutritionists. I have met dietitians. I have met health coaches, because I coach a lot of them. Right? I'm the coach's coach. Right? So people come to me who want real clarity and they want the truth, because I'm like a master at this. I mean, that's just the reality. Now, there's a lot of people coaching, but I have earned this because 30 years and a whole bunch of work and experience. So there's no doctors that I meet that know what I know, right? So I'm coaching them. But I earned that. Okay. And I'm not bragging. It's just the truth. You see the value in if someone has knowledge and understanding. It's just the truth. Like when Dr. Sebi died, for those of you who know who Dr. Sebi is, I mean, how sad that was. I never got a chance to meet him, but one of his dear friends was one of my mentors. And we kept working on it, and he had gone overseas and never made it back. So I never got a chance to meet him. And I have 1,000 questions for him. So I feel like I'm in that place right now where I have this wealth of knowledge and understanding. And I want to encourage, like I have coaches trained by me that I'm there to answer their questions. Like, God forbid I'm gone, I bet they would have a lot of questions for me that they just never gotten. Or even if it wasn't a question that they have right now, in their mind, they're thinking, man, like if something else comes out, or, you know, they go, man, I wonder what Robert would have thought about this. Well, take advantage of me while I'm here. Okay. All right. So finally, is taking more than 10 supplements a day really necessary? Well, where I was headed with that is these health coaches, nutritionists, personal trainers, influencers, they're taking 10, 15, they travel with supplements, which is my first, and don't take this the wrong way. And any of you can email me and I will tell you why I can say what I'm saying. My first impression when a person's taking that, and I don't know until I talk to them, let me just be clear, is they don't really know much about supplementation and they're lacking some knowledge and insight. So if you're taking that many supplements, now medications is different, because some people are not in dialysis because they're taking a certain amount of medications. We're talking supplements, which are not regulated by the FDA. Many of these supplements may be causing more harm than good. Okay. So that's why I love test-based nutrition. Yeah. So if you're taking that many, I would cut back 100%. Okay. So I'm going to go back and I want to play a quick little video for you guys, and then I'm going to end it. It's on cell membrane fluidity. It's a doctor by the name of Dr. Sears. And Dr. Sears ended up getting colon cancer. And when he got it, he's going to share this with you. It's a very short 2-minute segment. He was like, what do I do? Because doctors aren't trained. They're not nutritionists, right? So he started studying, because doctors are smart. They've demonstrated they have a high intelligence to learn. They get the chemistry, they get it, biology. So doctors can really learn nutrition if they apply themselves, right? And they really want to get it. Well, when your life is on the line, you're going to go the extra mile. So he's going to share with you his story and what he discovered as what he now shares with people all over the world. He's written books about it. The most important nutrient that everybody needs, as Dr. Wild said, to optimize health, as yours truly, Robert Ferguson, says, to optimize health. What the data is very clear, what the studies are clearly saying, if you don't want inflammation-related conditions, Hashimoto's, Graves' disease, unwanted weight gain, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, migraine. If you don't want a lot of those things, do something to address the inflammation. Please. So I want you to hear it from him. He explains it very well.
To get me to change. I had colon cancer in 1997. Mm-hmm. Cancer caused me to change. Mm-hmm. And I realized one thing, one simple sentence: make health my hobby. I had a lot to live for, lots of kids, lots of grandkids, many on the way. And so I made health my hobby, and that started with nutrition. And when I got into nutrition, the term omega-3s kept popping up. And I started with a very basic principle in medicine, that every organ of your body is only as healthy as each cell in it. So I studied cell health, the cell. Mm-hmm. And then I looked at the cell and studied it, and the term cell membrane kept coming up. Every cell is only as healthy as a cell membrane. And the cell membrane is both selective and protective. It lets the nutrients through that should come in, it protects us from nutrients that shouldn't come in. And the biggest nutrient in the cell membrane was omega-3s, the flexible fat. So I thought, aha, I've got to learn more about omega-3s. So I went from the cell to the blood flow. The next principle of medicine, I thought, every organ of the body is only as healthy as the blood flow to it. Better blood flow, better organ health. So I studied the blood flow. And that's when it led me to a professor, a doctor over in Norway, Dr. Jorn Darberg, who discovered back in the 70s the relationship between people who eat more omega-3 seafood have better total body health, but mainly blood flow health. They suffer less heart disease.
There you go. You heard it from a doctor. Now, I answered those questions. If you have more questions, feel free to post them in the comments. I'll do my best to help out and bring clarity to supplement use. And maybe you want to be specific on certain ones. First thing comes to mind is I'm thinking about one of my clients who was doing CoQ10. I said, keep taking it. I have a client who's doing B12, keep taking it. Have a client that's doing, well, I'll stop there. Some of them just make sense and some of them don't. I would say 98% of everyone that's my client, when they send me their supplement that's a multivitamin, I can show you in that ingredients that are linked or associated with increased risk of various cancers. So it does help to know what you're taking and not just be blindly taking things. And what I love about the balance oil that I take and many of the things that I do when I talk about vitamin D is there's a test. So I don't have to guess. That's it. All right, you guys. This is Diet for Life. I'm Robert Ferguson. If you're on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, comment. I do appreciate you because that does help. And the goal is to get to a place where we can reach more and more and more people. And I hope this information that I shared has been beneficial. So until the next time, be well. Sending love, grace, and peace 100% from Robert Ferguson at Diet Free Life. I got it.
No more counting calories, just living free. Robert Ferguson's got the plan you need. With Diet Free Life, it's the key. No more starving, getting rid of inflammation. Choosing healthy choices, providing you with sound information. Bringing balance to hormones and insulin through food. With DFL, teaching you food choices to see you through. DFL, we're teaching you to eat food right. Teaching you to pair food with each bite. Balancing our body's microbiome, feeling so right.